Hi, welcome to our bonus episode that we promised you days ago.
Yeah, sorry.
And this is the it's going to be the theories that we talked about. Um I have some and Jenny has a couple and we can discuss those. And I do have an article where the author kind of theorizes which one they out of the theories they think is the most believable. And it's actually on thecrimewire.com is the website that my stuff came from.
Okay. The majority of mine came from the actual website itself. And then
What website?
during the Lizzie Borden Museum House,
Oh, okay.
the actual Lizzie Borden site. And then there is the videos that I watched where the tour guides give their kind of theories as well. So, and then like people within those videos, tell theories and things like that. So,
Okay. Um, so how are you?
PG.
I figure we'll do a small side of bullshit today. Because it's Saturday. Okay, so I think I talked about this before. I had dyed my grandson's hair, both of them
Mhm.
dyed their hair, and I promised my granddaughter I would do hers. She wants hers purple.
I
I'm
had a feeling.
so proud. I thought she would go pink because she is all about the pink shit. So I thought for sure she would be pink, but no, she wants purple.
Okay.
Yeah, so gonna be doing that. So we're gonna take a little trip to the store and get some things, do some stuff.
Fun, fun.
Um, and I have officially bought a couple gifts for Marchmas now.
Okay.
Um, One is the little baby is scooting around now and she likes to go straight for either my shoes, she loves my Hey Dudes, or my purse. So I found a little purse for her.
Cute.
It's her purse. And then I know sometimes the older ones get on and listen, so I'm not going to say what the other one is because it's for one of them. So,
Good job. Don't let it slip.
yeah. Sorry, boys. Um, I did have to tell them though, like when I did the Sylvia Likens, I'm like, I don't care. You cannot listen to that one. You cannot. Not for 10 years. In 10 years, you can search YouTube, the archives, whatever, and find it. But right now, absolutely not. I don't know if they
Yeah.
listen. I don't know if they listened, but we'll see.
Let us know, boys. Did you listen?
Yeah. Do I have to whoop that ass? No. Um, yeah, so they're both they both have blue hair. Like not well, Jack wanted all over blue, so he's all over blue. Where Ben's just got that long floppy middle. Um, that's the only thing on him that's blue. Yeah. So
I'm not going to repeat the story I heard. Take some guesses. And you're probably right. But let's get into the theories.
okay, so obviously the victims, we're just gonna go over that again, was Andrew Borden, and although he was successful, he was not well liked. So I mean, really going by that statement, the theories really could be endless,
Hmm.
but none of them are listed. But I mean, it could always be like a business rival or someone he wronged during business.
Hmm.
That is not listed in any of those theories. That's just what popped it out of my own mouth. Um, and of course, the other victim was his wife, Abby. Um, and she, like, this article describes her as like older when she got married, and she was portly and round. Um,
Okay,
and
I
she was,
didn't get that description, so that's quite funny.
yeah, kind of lucky to have married so successfully.
Yeah, I did get that it was believed by, in the smaller circle of Lizzie that she married specifically for money and that she was just a gold digger.
Yeah, which is possible. And that actually goes along with maybe one of my theories a little bit. Um, so the first one I have is that after the murder, Lizzie told the police that she saw a wild-eyed man kind of sneaking, lurking around the house, or yeah, around the house the morning of the murders. And then it was kind of later corroborated by other local residents that they did see a man fitting that description in the area. So that is one theory.
That one I did not know. That's interesting.
Yeah. And like I said, later, once we go through all the theories, I will go over the commentary. Um, Let me see who wrote this article. Catherine Sparrow
Okay.
on the Crime Wire. So, um, once we're all done with the theories, I will go into like her thoughts. Um, and then actually after each theory, she gives like a quick thought. And her thought on that one is, I think there may be some truth to this. I will discuss further below. And she does. Okay. What do you got?
Well, my first one is in regards to the uncle, and yep, I already forgot his name again.
John. John
John
Morse.
Morris. Um, and he kind of comes into play because his arrival at the house is not what the normal that he would do. He did come around, even though he was the brother of the deceased wife, which is the girl's mother. And he would typically send a telegram or a wire, ahead of time saying, "Hey, I'm going to be here this day, this time." And that's what would happen. On this occasion, he did not send any advance notice that he was coming or when. He just showed up out of the blue and said, "Hey, can I crash?" And Andrew was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Um, and apparently there wasn't really a whole lot going on there. Um, nothing really to note other than that it was he had breakfast with the Bordens, but not Lizzie and Emma.
Emma.
Sorry. Uh, not with the girls, but with Andrew and his wife. And then after they had had breakfast, Andrew and him had left for whatever they had to do the day, kind of went their separate ways. And he showed up well after the police and the hubbub had, ensued. However, in his hometown, he was actually a butcher. And it is said that a butcher's knife would be consistent with the wounds that were inflicted, considering they did not find the actual axe or hatchet that was used.
Yeah.
It is believed that he used a cleaver and took it with him. And also, a part of that is that Lizzie and her sister kind of roped him into doing it for, their mistreatment by their father and stepmother and the potential that they had given him money, although that wasn't noted in anywhere that I had seen.
Yeah. Um, the next one I got, actually, the next one I've got, I'm gonna wait because I know you said you had one. Um, so I'm gonna wait. So another one, and I did not know until I read this article that this person even existed. And Jenny was like, "What? I didn't hear that one."
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm
Um,
curious about this one.
I passed it in the article, I think. Okay. Um, one theory was William Borden, who was Andrew's illegitimate son.
Okay. And actually, after you had told me about it, I was thinking maybe it was from the stepmother.
Nope, he was 26 at the time of the murder, and according to this theory, he killed them because he was trying to extort money.
Hmm.
And um Andrew and Abby weren't falling for it. Um, so um the author's thoughts on this is, I don't know if it's a typo, but it said, I think there may be closer to the truth. Um, so that is another one of the theories. And again, I would kind of like to do a deep dive into that because, like I said, and maybe I had heard that before and it just wasn't an important fact that she had a half brother. Um, but I don't recall hearing it.
Yeah, same. I don't remember any mention of that.
Yeah.
In fact, during the other episode, you had actually even talked about a different one that I had not heard. Oh shoot, no, what one was it? Um, Shit. I had it a second ago. I lost it. We'll see if it comes back.
It might not. Um,
Yeah.
hold on 1 second and I will see if I can, because at that point, it was on Wikipedia where there was like some other theories.
Mm.
Sorry. Now I'm not gonna be able to fucking find it. Nope.
So I'll do one of mine, which is the theory that the maid was a part of the murders. In one, there is that she actually physically helped in the process of it. The other is that she knew Lizzie had killed the parents and helped her to cover it up. And that's part of why she had taken the stand and all of that. Also, it was noted that after the girls received the money, that they had given a portion of it to the maid who actually bought a ranch in another state and moved away and never had contact with them again.
Okay.
So that
Um,
one with the possibility of the payoff, or it could just be like, hey, we know you just went through this horrible ordeal, just like we did. Here's a little something, we have all this money. Go set yourself up somewhere. Never have to work for anyone again.
yeah. Um, Yeah, no, I had there was a couple theories listed about Bridget, the maid.
Mhm.
Um, and that was now, of course, these are just theories. No one said anything about the truth. Um, that one theory is based on whether or not the rumors of her, Bridget and Lizzie being lovers.
That was it.
And Abby had found out and was threatening to tell Andrew. Um, so that she may have killed her, that Bridget and Lizzie worked together to kill him. And another one is speculated that Bridget was mistreated by the Bordens. And that kind of goes to you talking about how she was like in the attic, had to keep the door closed to keep the cold, heat, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but then it also goes into how she had a hold on, let me find it again. Oh, sorry. Um, that she really didn't have a horrible relationship with the Borden family. Um, uh, yeah, she was reported to have a cordial relationship with the family. She was not treated any different than their other, I'm not using this in like any derogatory, but um their staff, their maids were mostly Irish. That she wasn't treated any worse than the rest of them. Um, so that theory is kind of so those are the two I have about her. And I think, yeah. Oh, and then of course we've got Lizzie acting alone. Um, and we may have talked about this, but her and her father had a close relationship. Um, she kind of idolized her dad. And then that leads to another theory of the sisters acting together because of the theory that they were abused as children. Um, and this particular article doesn't reference was it physical or like sexual abuse. Um, but I do know the Wikipedia talks about both. Um, so I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's certainly interesting to note that at that, like in that time, in most cases, women were married off, rather young. And for the age that the girls were, it was odd that they hadn't been married yet. And it was like I had actually come across one where they said where like a family friend or a neighbor or something had made remarks to Andrew, oh, well, don't you think it's past time to marry them off?
Yeah.
And, he was like, well, no, why would I?
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all the theories, right? That we found.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of paraphrase a little bit with the author. I can't remember what I said her name was. Catherine, Catherine Sparrow. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Just want to get to the end of the theories. Um, okay, so according to the author, in her opinion, and again, I don't know how much research she did on this kind of thing. Um, but in her opinion, the most likely culprit is the wild-eyed man. Um, because there was several witnesses that were seen. Um, and it could have been that that man was William Borden. the illegitimate son. Um, and apparently this theory is well supported in Arnold Brown's book, Lzzie Borden, The Legend, the Truth, the Final Chapter. Now I kind of want to find that book on Audible and read it. But I don't know. I kind of so maybe that was the research she did. So according to Brown's book, Andrew Borden has this illegitimate son who everyone in the family knew about but never discussed because back then those were big secrets.
Mhm.
Um, so just prior to the murder, according to the book, just prior to the murders, both Lizzie and Emma were a little pissed off with their dad because he was planning to planning his will in a way that wouldn't have been a good benefit to the girls. Um, so again, according to the book, with the changes of the will kind of hovering over them, Lizzie contacts William to kind of wrangle his help in persuading their dad against doing that. So then Brown further speculates that William, not being of very sound mind, had a particular hatred for Abby, whom he saw as taking the place of his own mother, who should have married Andrew. Um, it goes on to say that while he was waiting for Andrew to return, um, it's possible that Abby was mocking him or telling him, like, you have no chance in hell of getting anything, because he was illegitimate. So in a rage, he killed her with a hatchet that he carried with him at all times in a burlap bag. So then after waiting or after killing Jesus Christ, killing Abby, he waited for Andrew to return. Um, and then he confronted his dad. They argued, um, knowing the way Andrew was, just like dismissed him and laid down and said, fuck you, I'm going to sleep. Um, that kind of got his rage going again, and he then kills his dad and flees the house. And then this is where other witnesses see him, which doesn't say he was seen with blood on him, because you would think there would be some blood.
You would think there weren't even after killing the mom,
Yeah,
because that it was said that that was like close range. You know what I mean? Like literally snuck up on her.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, she was facing her killer.
yeah, but I mean, like he snuck up on her, startled her, you know, and
I mean, I guess you can also see it in that theory that they were face to face and she was telling him, you ain't getting shit, fuck off. And then he did it. I mean, it does make sense. It makes sense.
I'm a little confused because if he's an illegitimate child and, like they know about him, but, not really talked about, how would that make it commonplace for him to be in the home to where like she's making the bed and having this conversation? You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. I guess if he was confronting her and maybe he thought being in a room, she can't really get away. She has to talk to me kind of thing. That's kind of how
Maybe.
I would see it, maybe, which is also why I'm not a cop. So I I play one on TV.
Yeah.
Um, but that's my guess that like he went in there to kind of confront her of, I don't know what he was, if it was him, what he was getting out of it. And maybe that's why Lizzie said, well, the evidence is going to prove I didn't do it, so go ahead, name me as the killer, put me on trial. She was acquitted. Um, which now, because Lizzie and Emma are legitimate children, they are the only legitimate heirs to the
Hmm.
fortune. So,
I'm
um,
confused on like, oh, sorry, I don't mean to say confused. I'm curious about the context of this book. Like, how does the author know that like this guy is an illegitimate child? How is it that it's commonplace for him to be in the life, but yet nobody talks about him? You know what I mean? Like, I need
yeah,
to know more about this story. Like, where did this information come from?
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know, like I said, until I read this article. And I just looked, it was listed in the Wikipedia.
Hmm.
I didn't read down that far because I saw theories. I'm like, oh, that'd be an idea for a good little bonus. Um, so I mean, I don't know. Of I know things like that weren't talked about because it was taboo.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm assuming he was raised by his mother.
Hmm. So that's why I'm confused. Like, why is he suddenly showing up and like, having these friendly
Mm,
conversations? Like, to me, it would make more sense that he finds out that Andrew Borden is his father and that he's got these other children, but yet didn't raise him, and like for him to fly into a rage and do it. Like, to me, that would make more sense than, you know what I mean?
Well, it says Lizzie called him, according to the theory. Well, not called him because, phones, but she wrangled him into this, like, help us convince him that to give, because one of the theories when it comes to um the girls working to Lizzie and Emma, the sisters, one of the things was that he was kind of foolishly giving money to Abby's family.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
did
I
write that
remember
down.
that one because like her mom or sisters or something like that was about to lose the house that they lived in.
Yeah,
Um,
well,
and so
and
he bought it so she didn't have to worry about him anymore.
yeah, and again, that is one of the theories that if it was the girls together,
Glitchy glitch. Hold on, you glitched. Think you're so froze. Do 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 do.
still hear
Still here,
you.
robotically. Uh, for some reason, I'm seeing the skulls behind you as like bunny ears. Huh. Wow. Still froze. Oh, okay. Here I am. Let's see if she can make it back. Hmm. Well, I didn't have any more theories. Those are the only ones I knew. Don't see her popping back in yet. So I'm going to end. I don't know if she's going to get this part or not, but see y'all next time. Bye. Hmm, it's still recording. She's not here. Where are you, Jelly Bean? I guess we're done.